Alright. So we actually just beat this fight. That's when I camped out. So now do I want to change my build yet? I don't think so. I am gonna go with a madness. Madness. This is madness. The question though becomes, what is the best armor to use?
Where did ye flee, my sweetings? Come out from whence ye hide. There are books and light aplenty. Ah, is it thy to become? Be not alarmed.
Let's see. I hadn't touched it. I had not touched it yet. Here we go. These are super heavy. If there's a strengthen golden order incantations. What are golden order incantations? Law of regression, immutable shield. That includes the rings of light. Interesting. Interesting. If we changed to this, and we changed to, it's good, caster protection for sure. That's kind of cute in a bizarre sort of way. And then gloves wise, I think it may have been these were the best weight ratio. There's some specific shoes. Gold waist wrap. Huh. Well, at least they made it heavier. Soiled loincloth. Really gotta wonder about stuff like that, you know? Ugh. At least wash it first. Alright. Inventory. I don't think I'm going to be able to get there, but I was thinking maybe I could get to a light load. Let's see. Okay. Oh, these will all get us to light load. Alright. So if we go to this guy. Alright. Now, can we get better? No, medium. Alright, now I'm light. Haha. But is that the best light robe? That's ultimately the big question. Be nice if I could see a comparison on this panel. Okay, 5.1. Was 5. Something was 5.1 here. Champion Pauldron. All right, let me see here. Equipment. It's looking like something. looks dumb. Well, there's no fixing it in any case. That's crazy. That looks even worse. Man. Ugh. All right. Okay, so now I'm done in here. Let's go. What was the next thing that I wanted to do? It'll come to me. Like how examining it, it's like, I'm going to look at this thing. Whoa. It's funny. All right. Can't use the lift yet. There's another way in. Where was that? Yeah, so I don't have access to the lift yet. I think there's some specific things that I have to do for that. One of them is go under here. Bleh. Somewhere kind of under here. That noise. Ching, ching, ching. shows to me that I want to go here. A glass shard. It's funny. It seems familiar somehow. That's why. Alright, let's be one closer. It's funny. Some of these are single spawns, so you only get them once, I think. Actually want to go to Rose Church. Oh, that should have been cleared. My bad. So, I do want to get to back up to Moog's Palace. Oh. What's his nuts not here yet? He must be here still. Weird. I suppose I've never not talked to this guy after doing stuff.
You, my now for an audience. Go for an audience. Go for an audience with the two fingers.
Now I suppose I have to meet the two fingers. It's funny how it says new items can be purchased, right? Except I already have everything.
Only fine. You have now to become the thing as now become Queen, a god after grip. Maricas that even confer the finger now.
Alright. I did not get the full moon yet, and I did not get the axe yet.
Now go forth.
In fact, I also did not... Actually, that's not the right one, I think. Maybe it is. Oh, it is. Alright, this is fun. So let's get... Still alive. What? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Drink. Ah, drink, drink, drink. Hold on. Come on. Can't believe I failed to kill the one. That was nasty. Hi. That's more like it. Yes, transport me across, please. Look at all that. Crazy move set. I'm actually not very good at it. I mean, it's not a surprise. I've never been much of a melee player. I don't know how much longer I'm gonna tolerate doing this. I've always preferred the caster version, doing the caster. Yeah, I wanted to activate the room. Alrighty. And now I'll set the rune. The only other rune that's worth using is the one, and it's only if you don't want to use the shackle for Moog, is the Moog rune, or the anti-Moog rune, I should say. Great runes. All right. Let's... Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm playing on desktop. Are you playing on desktop? On PC? Epic, are you playing on PC?
Ah, you've had your audience. With the two fingers. What? Aha, my doubt. The words are truly, I believe, even that's the... Oh. I'll give it a try. And if it I've high...
Now, to avoid that, I have to get all the way up here. I don't want to avoid it, so... Peepic, Are you... Estelle in Lake of Rot. There's an Estelle in the Lake of Rot? Oh. Gotta respond. Ugh.
Be sure there's no reason tarnished with your...
Oh. Alright, I can't go back and buy the old stuff,
I'll
so...
go for...
No biggie. sure. Yeah. I forget what I even make with the fly molds. I seem to remember there being something that I would make, but it was with a fly mold. But I don't remember what. It's frustrating because although the only reason that I want to invade, I don't care if I live or die. The only reason that I want to invade is so that I can get the Moog icon thing. And it's just kind of, I think it's one of the places where there's another way in, but I have to advance much deeper into the map before I can get there. Oh, I didn't know that. Huh. Alright, good to know. Wizened finger, fingered severer. Alright, that one I assume? So what do? You draw it on the ground and then you pick it up, or never done it? I guess I'll find out. Well, if I actually make it to an invasion. She's not even here. Ah, doesn't matter. And then what, the slash just sort of sticks around? Or you click on it or you run into it or something? I guess we'll find out. That didn't look like a good place to invade anyway. So far, like, when I invade, one of three things happens every time. It's someone that's probably just like me, and we're both like, and we're terrible at PvP. Two, it's that jackass, it's probably the same person the whole time, like hiding in a spot that's nearly impossible to get to, and they're basically just farming people quitting. Or three, somehow there's like a bunch of people there and they're all coming after me instantly. What's really funny is I spent an hour killing a person that was in that in an impossible spot. They were AFK. They went into that spot, they did the thing, and then they just went AFK. And so I just kept poisoning them with arrows. And then eventually they died. It's pretty funny. All right. Yeah.
Please, no. Dear me. I haven't a clue. No secrets lie with me, not a one. Oh, please leave me be. Wait there. Well. Oh, aye. We're finished. The curse, I beg you. You must keep... And then please give... At your medallion is the only a good for dear. Alas.
Poor dude. Okay, we're attempting to invade. Waiting for it to happen. There's something in there. Did you see that? What the heck? Wait, what was that? I've never noticed that before. What the heck? Am I the only one? I've never even seen that item before. The heck is that? Huh. How weird is that? awful lot of time attempting to invade. How about you just invade? Waiting for the invasion. Come on. All right. Cool beans. I don't want to start this fight and then be in the middle of an invasion. I don't know what that means. 0. Oi. Oh, that's funny. I've got Mogan Market Shackle. Huh. I knew I still had that.
Be sure to try. I'm quite...
Come on. Oh, we're invading. That's 2.
Be sure to try. I'm quite.
Khalifa skateboards? Is that Khalifa? We're hoping for... I need one more invasion. Hey, aces. Ah! Well, I'm not having much luck with the invasion. Attempting. Here we go. We're attempting. Now we have to actually invade. No? Ugh. Music. Dun, dun. The arrow stuck in my back. It's funny. Oh, there's a tree sentinel there. It's not really what I was planning on, but... Hey. Not having much luck with the invasions. frustrating. And I'm not even sure that I'm using one of the talismans that I'm using. Doesn't seem to do as much as I thought that it would. Which is a little disappointing. I'd hoped that this successive attacks restore HP would do a better job of restoring HP, but apparently it does not. Oh. I think we finally got a third invasion. There, look, there are two people there. Like I said, 3 types. That was one of the 3. Saw there were 2 people there. There's a guy and a helper. It's like, what's the point of that? I didn't show up to, like, if there was one, and it's like, alright, I'll play around with that. I don't have a lot of, you know. It's like, that might be fun. And then you show up and there's like 2. It's like, what's the point of that? Especially when again, I was ignorant. I did not know that I could just be like going, I don't think so.
Oh, Lamb, I'm glad you have a... I wish to anoint a knight luminary. So,
Anoint me.
now, for your... Normally the blood, sin... The blood of Ed... The blood of Ed...
Alright. So, do I go the bell towers route? I think that's actually easier. Yeah. But I have to pick the right one, which is because I'm only going to have one imbued, right? Because I don't have any extra imbued. I've used them all, so I'm only going to have one, and I have to pick the right bell tower. So which is the correct bell tower? Isn't that the $64,000 question? I'll have to look that up. Lobsters. I hate those things. Make me actually read lore? Ugh. What's the point of this incredibly expansive, gorgeous game with all the lore built into it? If I have to read it. I'm kidding. Yeah, I think so too. You know what I need more of? Row of fruit. Absolutely. Right between the legs. set that big guy. Night sky unceasing. That must be underground. Precipice of anticipation. That sounds like it. Farumazala, yeah, precipice. These naughty imps. I already beat the guy too. So the respawn actually killed the. Yeah. Actually, I already killed the boss, unless they spawn him again. Yeah, and I did the Nephili quest the first time through. I did not. So I did the quest line where she ends up being queen. Or whatever, Lord of the Tower.
You've complained with this a night now. This.
Oh, bite down on something. Snip,
Oh,
snip.
good heavens. Clench your teeth
or
or
something.
something. Never forget that feeling of agony, for it is what binds you to Luminary Moog, to all of us. You have the sweetest scream, my lambkin. Oh, and a medal with the power I've got, but you mustn't use it. The meeting must luminary, we must. One day, right, my lamb? One day, right, my lamb?
It's gonna put me at medium. But it's way more useful. What? Ouch. Huh. This area is much easier to manage once you have this sword. What? That's weird. Actually, for that matter, let's use you. Such a weird place for an incantation, you know? Do. For those that are watching and are wondering what's going on, I'm going up to the bird location. Obviously, I don't need the bird kills anymore. I've got the sword, but... Well, your name would imply that you're somehow related to gaming, so consider this research. Oh. Well, I'm multi-streaming. I've got TikTok, Twitch, and YouTube going at the moment. It's not a perfect system, but it's the system I have. Normal job is medical. Oh, what type of medical job do you do, if you don't mind sharing? I don't think... Level? No. But too close to ignore. Phlebotomist. I know what a phlebotomist is. I have a very medical family. Let's see. Now this may have... So if a phlebotomist collects blood, does a phlebotomist collect sputum? Notice the carefully used language there. Sorry, I'm a dad. I can't help myself. All right. Here's the funny thing, right? So I don't have the stats to use triple rings of light, but I can use Land of Shadow, which I actually now just want to watch. I don't even know that I've ever cast this spell, but the thought amuses me. What does this do? That has got to be the most useless spell I've ever seen. What does that even do? Maybe I have a target? Uh-oh. Huh. Alright, slightly less useless. I'm using what's called the sword. What's it called? The Sacred Relic Sword. It is when you beat the Elden God at the very last boss of the game, and you turn in his remembrance, this is one of the items you can get. There's also a hammer. Don't take the hammer. The sword's better. The hammer's like the sword, but it has the same effect, but in a tiny little area. I almost wonder if they made the sword effect way larger than they actually intended to. But yeah, there's not any really good, in my opinion, there's not any really good, like, replacements for the sword. The closest thing would be probably the Frost Axe, and I didn't even pick that up the last playthrough, or the first playthrough. That's the closest, but it's still not great. And it is, if I remember correctly, it's absolutely broken. So... yeah, this is NG+. You can't tell. I have the sword and not... yeah, this is NG+. This is only the first playthrough. I guess it could have been NG 2 or 3 or 4. Yeah, this is just a new game. I beat the game... what was it? Night before last. And yesterday I didn't really have much time to put actual game time in, so... let's see, I wasn't actually planning on... meh. That one? It is, and it's... the trash in the game becomes pointless. Like, why bird when you can get, 50 to 100,000 a pass on this? I mean, if you actually go through, for example, if I actually snatch up one of the bird feet to get extra runes, so I'm at 251,000, right? Do a sweep from about this spot, take a step forward, because sometimes it'll miss a couple of guys. So there's 100,000 runes. 110,000 runes. Since I'm on a... since I'm already on a new game, I did not use this to level up for the first playthrough. The only time I would come here is if I needed runes to do things like upgrade weapons, or if I had like 250,000 runes and I needed 280,000. Can I offer you a recommendation? I would suggest that you beat the DLC before you beat the last boss. It's actually the way the game is supposed to be played. The DLC was not intended to go after the rest of the game. It's intended to be played before, but the DLC will give you three things that will absolutely make the last fights much easier, for better or for worse. It's up to you, obviously. You know, play the game how you want to play. So I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just offering a suggestion. But one of the spells that you get in the there are two spells and one Spirit Ash that are absolutely obscene. So one of the spells that you'll get is Heal from Afar. And Heal from Afar it's basically replaces all healing spells. So you can cast a heal, and when it hits an object, whether it be a mob or a wall or the ground, it doesn't heal. And the heal is massive. It's a huge heal. It'll heal you almost 100%. But also, you will get Light of Mikola, which I will just do. Let's see. You get this spell, which is obscene for a whole bunch of locations. It's also a nice opener, by the way. And the yeah, look at that. It's crazy. The third thing is that you get, if you go through the whole DLC, you get the blacksmith, Telu, as a possible, as a Spirit Ash. You don't have to. You can finish the whole main story, but the DLC was not designed to be beaten before, or was not designed to be taken on after the main story. It's just the main story came out, what, a couple of years before the DLC did. So I wouldn't, it's not that it's a mistake to do it that way, but if you think about the lore, like, of how things go, beating the Elden God is the end of all things that are Erdtree related, right? That's the reason the Erdtree exists, is because of the Elden Beast, right? That is kind of like that whole thing. The storyline that is about the family that's trying to become Elden Lord includes Marika and that whole incestuous Game of Thrones-esque kind of thing, right? So Mikola, excuse me. So when you go to the Shadow of the Erdtree, you're following in Mikola's footsteps. So I'm where Moog is, by the way. This is the right place for Moog. Let me pop a couple levels in. Hold on. One more sweep. Two more sweeps. Forgot just how much bonus. So, if you haven't done Moog yet, you have to do specific things to get. Oh, okay. Sure, but keep in mind, I'm like level 228 probably, and my build is really weird. So the only reason that I'm doing this, so you'll see the stats here. The only reason that I'm doing this the way that I'm doing it was because I was messing around with a whole separate build, right? So my arcane is super, super high, specifically because of the weapon that I'm using, not the sword. The sword is not. It's the. Hold on. So the Cypher Peta, which is this weapon, is actually the the one that I've been messing with, and that's why the build is the way that it is. This is a very, very odd build. And I decided not to wear the armor. I went with the best outfit that I can to have the highest stats, but I'm also light. So if you look at, I'm light load. So if you look at like my dodging is super fast, right? If that's not important, I'd put on a much, much heavier armor set and be medium. So there's a bunch of things to consider. If you wanted to, if you go through the DLC, there's a build that's absolutely fantastic, and it's a lot of fun to play, and it's based around lightning damage. So the way to know that you max out the damage is to look at what that weapon offers. You may already know this, but who knows if someone else doesn't. Oh. So if you look at strength, dex, and faith, the attribute scaling, if your faith, so you want to go to a YouTube video and see someone who's actually done a breakdown of the weapon because they do much more testing. But if you notice that the dex scaling is B, Baker, that normally means that you'll get more from dex. However, it doesn't always work that way, so you got to watch those videos where people have done extensive testing. But you need strength, dex, and faith for this sword to be cranked up. Having said that, faith is a caster build. I mean, I don't really care what else you're doing, because a build around this sword is a little bit odd. I think there are better swords. If you're going to go with a great sword, there are better great swords to use than this, except for that effect that I'm using right now. But it's not very good. It's slow, and it's ground-based, so there are mobs that it won't hit, yada yada. But yeah. I mean, Jesse's got it right. You need high dex and faith, but I wouldn't build too heavily around that. You're probably going to go with some casting as a side, in which case you really want to focus on the casting aspect of it. The Cypher Peta, hold on, that's way down at the other end. Here, you notice it scales exclusively on faith. So, yeah, and then, which is the other one? I'm using, no, I had been using the Golden Order seal. So I don't feel particularly strongly about, you're using the best sword, you're using one of the best swords in the game. I cannot underemphasize or overemphasize the fact that you can win the game with any gear that you want. People have won this game at level 1. They just never spend their runes on levels. You absolutely can. The trick behind doing that is playing smart and knowing how to do the dodges and everything. As long as you know how to do that, you can beat the game. As long as you know the movesets, you can beat anything. That sword is a fantastic sword. Yeah, it is. Absolutely. You're talking about... where is it? Where is it? I've got it here somewhere. This one. Lord Sword's Great Sword. Right there. It's fantastic. So even with the stuff that I have... Oh, I don't have the strength to use it. So there's no reason for me to. But yeah, no, that's a great sword. Level it up. Stick an Ash of War on it. Yeah, all excellent builds. The build that I've had the most fun with playing is Lightning. Is the Ancient Dragon Lightning build. And what you do is you have to have a dex of 40 if you're doing the full the full build. But you use the... Hold on. Oh, I don't need that here. I don't need that. Put that back. I have 2 of those now. The Bolt of Grand Sax. Sorry, I thought it was in my bank. So I can't use it right now. But it is an otherwise nearly useless item. It's totally difficult. This guy. However... Oh, nice. With the build, if you set it up, what you do is you wear the Death Knight gear. Each piece of the Death Knight gear adds 2% to your Ancient Dragon incantations. So with a full set, it's plus 8% damage with no negative. It's actually a decent set. You then put on the usual incant, where is it? Faster cast time, which I think I have on. Nope. You then do the faster cast time. Where's that? This guy. You get this one eventually, but you may not want the increased damage taken. Radagon's Icon. And then for the 4th one, you can even go consume less FP so you can cast even more. So it's like you have a bigger FP pool. And that's a... You build around, so that's your trinkets, that's the Ancient Dragon stuff, and then you go with Bolt here. You go with the Erdtree Seal here, and then you go with the Gravelstone, this one. And you absolutely melt bosses. The spell that you cast, I literally one-shot one of the dragons. I didn't even realize it was going to happen. But you do it with, where's it? This spell, Ancient Dragon's Lightning Strike. I think I killed, who was it? I went in, I finished the DLC, I came back with that build, with the lightning build. I came back with, and burnt the tree, because I hadn't even burnt the tree yet. Forget the rest of it. I burned the tree, and then I went after Placidusix, and I killed Placidusix in 4 shots. The last third was that lightning strike. If I'd known that lightning strike was going to do that much, I would have killed him in 2 shots. Yes. Just 40 decks. You stop at 40. You're doing very little melee, and if you do, it's only to kill stuff that's way weaker. So the 40 decks is just so that you can melee. What you do is you use the bolt as your long range attack. You right click and hold, and it sends a lightning bolt out at a super long range with a super high knockback. And then you use Knight's Lightning Spear, probably the best incantation in the game, generally. You use this for mid and short range. So that one, hold on, looks like this. So that's charged, and that's not charged. And the thing to recognize is, notice when it's not charged, it's got 1 plus 4, and when it is charged, it's got 1 plus 6. So that doesn't actually get any advantage, or gets very little advantage from the charge spell increaser, because it doesn't add damage to charge it, like other spells do, where they add damage to charge it. This one just adds lightning bolts. So you don't need to use the... where is it? You don't need to use this, Godfrey's Icon, because it doesn't really enhance the spell. It's not like you suddenly get 8 lightning bolts instead of 6. It doesn't actually provide you much benefit. So that frees up that slot. That becomes your bread and butter spell. Anyway. Yeah, I think the lightning build for me was the funnest build that I've ever used. the bolt version of that build, I mean, at 130 you can use all this stuff. You just won't have that absolutely obscene amount of damage. Yeah, light load. All right, let's get out of here. And there's other stuff like you can get this magma talisman of the dread. I may switch to a magma build, which is using that one instead, because the magma spells are so much fun. Yeah, and here's the thing, though. The DLC is where that build becomes viable, because that's where you get half the gear you need for it. One thing you also get... hold on, let me show you one... Do I want to? Yeah. There's... I'm not going to use it, but I'll show you. There's a specific item, the Priestess Heart. You can't be wearing any armor when you use it, but when you do, you turn into a dragon form. And then you can use it again to get a 10% increase in damage for all those same spells. Bleed build is really a melee build for all the other stuff that you have. The only significant bleed spell, I think, is Flies. And Flies is a really frustrating spell. I think the way they nerfed Flies, they didn't change its damage. They just make it piss off bosses way more than they used to. I mean, ultimately you want to go for Rivers of Blood. But I preferred the Uji Katana. But I've generally fought closer range. Yeah, I don't... The Bleed build was the first of the sort of meme-ish builds. It got nerfed. It doesn't change the fact that it's still a ridiculous number of hits, right? Because if you get each strike is like, it's zhung 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 zhung, and then, right? So each strike is still building up bleed. It just doesn't build up extra bleed. I mean, unless maybe they nerfed it further, but all they did was make it so that it's not obscenely broken. Now I mean, bleed builds are still kind of obscenely broken. If, again, that's a melee thing. I'm really more of a caster. That's always been sort of my thing, is being more caster type. But I prefer the... Let's see if I can even use it right now. I don't... Yeah, it's in my bank. Hold on. Yeah. Alright, Uji Katana. So, there we go. So right now what I've got on the Uji Katana is an Ash of War that does this. Oh, I can't really see it much, but here, I'll go here. And that was specifically for crumbling for Majala or whatever. So look at the weapon, it'll tell you. So see how right now I've got Sacred Uchi Katana highlighted. Oop. And then you come over here, Strength, Dex, Faith. If I... Here, let me add the complication to it. If I change my Ash of War, which is what I'm going to do, actually, because I wanted to show a specific thing. This, Unsheath. If I go... This is a standard Unsheath thing. This is what Unsheath looks like. Like this. Here. And it does that. And it's a super powerful attack. So if you go to the Ash of War, okay. So you as you play through the game, you pick up items which will let you add different kinds of affinities to your weapons. And the Uji Katana unsheathed remains unsheathed regardless of which one you have. But look at what happens over here in the attribute scaling, right? So standard is strength and dex. So dex is going to be more important, but they're both good, right? If you switch to heavy, notice dex disappears. See how the red dash, if I switch to heavy, it goes to a dash. That means it doesn't scale by that anymore. Suddenly, it's purely a strength weapon now. If you go to keen, it's a much more dex weapon. If you go to quality, it does a more balanced version of both. It's a better version of the same thing. Magic adds int and then reduces the other two. Fire means that the fire damage, it does fire damage. So now look up in this area here where it says fire plus 187, magic plus 220. It adds that kind of damage to it. Well, if you go to sacred, right, it adds faith and holy damage. If you go to bleed, but here's the thing, if you go to cold, and this is the one that I would recommend that you typically use, if you go to cold, not only do you get blood buildup, it's a little bit less blood loss, but you get a ton of frost buildup. And again, cold now adds an int base. So my first playthrough, until I went lightning, I was a cold build, using Ronnie's hat and the, what's it called, Moonblade spell. Frost buildup is in some ways better than blood buildup. It's just frost buildup is hard to get early in the game. When you get to occult, that's where you would pump arcane in there, but you never, all bosses are immune to death. So the bonus that you would get from it is largely meaningless. If you switch to a blood, specifically a blood buildup, it'll increase the blood loss, the blood buildup, but notice it's back to adding arcane. And generally speaking, nobody stacks their arcane, so you're not going to get as much damage up here in the physical. I'm getting a ton because my arcane is cranked up. My character's arcane is much higher. Where is it? Yeah, my arcane's 73. So this number is really good under the arcane scaling. But if you were going to go with any of them, I like this sword. I don't think I'm not going to claim that it's better. I would just say that I'm getting messages on Twitch from someone who's asking me if this is my first playthrough. Really? It is not my first playthrough. Yeah, anyway, so it's you won't be able to do these until you pick up specific items. Hold on, I want to actually put this to cold. And I want to go to my inventory and I want to show you key items. These. So you probably pick these up, these wet blades, and you didn't know what they're for. Now you do. That's when you pick up each of these wet blades, they give you the ability to grant an affinity on a weapon. R3D, no, I'm just used to almost every message I get in on Twitch being from someone who's going to offer me their artwork and want to connect on Instagram and or Discord. So I'm just very skeptical. My apologies. So these are what let you. So the magic, this one allows you to upgrade a weapon to magic. This one allows you to upgrade to occult. Sanctified gives you holy. Hot wet blade gives you fire. Iron gives you heavy, etc. So these give you the ability to add affinities to the weapons that you have. And here's the thing. Builds are memeish. If you just focus, if you know, like, I like doing magic, and I like having a nice sword that I'm going to use, and I like using the whatever. If that's what you enjoy, then build the stats for that. You're going to do fine. You don't have to walk into a boss fight being able to... You can absolutely ask a question, R3D. You don't have to walk into a boss fight being able to cast one spell and explode them. It's fun, but it gets old, right? Pretty soon you're like going, well, the game's easy. And then we don't want to play the easy game anymore. So for what it's worth, hold on. I actually don't want that right now. If I was going to give any single piece of advice on this game that I wish that I was better at very early on, it's this. Royal Knight's Resolve. It's a good question. So, all right, this is a question that's on Twitch. I have an Ash of War, Royal Knight's Resolve, but for some reason I can't put it on heavy. So it may be that that specific Ash of War does not go on a heavy weapon. You wouldn't know that by going to a heavy weapon and looking. You may not be able to. So the way you can tell, I think, let me go back and look. Go to inventory to your ashes. Hold on. Ashes of War. To your Ashes of War, find the one that you're talking about, and you said it's Royal Knight's Resolve. This one. All melee armaments. And you want to put it on the Giant Crusher. Okay, the answer may be different than I thought. Hold on. Now I need to look at Giant Crusher. If I have that. Giant Crusher is a... something up here, probably. What is Giant's Crusher? Remind me. Maybe I don't have it. I actually don't know that I have that one. I must have that one. I may not have that one. So normally you would look at the Ash of War and it'll tell you. I don't know why you wouldn't be able to put it on Giant Crusher, unless Giant Crusher is specifically a... Alright, folks. Don't worry, I'm not actually quitting. I'm switching to a different tune. I must have a tune that has Giant Crusher. So this character that is popping up has, I believe, yeah, it has the lightning build. So if you look at, see, I've got the Erd Tree, I've got the Gravel Stone. In this case, I'm using the Turtle's Head Talisman. Different reasons. I just need, I de-stamina really fast. But this character is also a stupidly high level. So the purpose of looking here was to look at the Giant Crusher. Oh, yeah, I don't have access to that area yet on that tune that I was in. I'd be surprised if I didn't have Giant Crusher on this one. But we'll find out. I assume it's a colossal weapon? Yeah, Giant Crusher. So this character can't technically use it, but... Let's see. Ash of War. Giant Crusher. I don't know. I honestly don't know. It should, as far as I know, according to the message in game, it says you should be able to use it. So I don't know why you wouldn't be able to. Honestly, it doesn't sound right to me, that you wouldn't be able to put it on there. It's... Oh, yeah, Royal Knight's Resolve. Yeah, I can put it on there. I don't know why you can't. Sorry, I was looking in the wrong spot. Are you sure you have Royal Knight's Resolve? If it's on another weapon, you'll see it in the list, but it'll be grayed out, and if you try and select it... Oh, why can't you put... I misunderstood your question. Okay, so that's probably because you need a specific one of those whetstones that I was talking about. Hold on. You need one of the whetstones. I can only guess that it's the iron one. No, I misread. You asked the question correctly. I misunderstood what you were asking. I don't know why you wouldn't be able to... The only reason I can think of that you can't put on heavy is... Let me see. Elden Ring... You need the iron wet blade. Heavy, keen, and quality come from the iron wet blade. And the iron wet blade is in Stormvale Castle. So it should be... Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Loaded the wrong character. Yeah, you need the iron wet blade. It's in Stormvale Castle. Apparently it's guarded by a bunch of rats, but it might be behind a phantom wall that you have to open with a key. One of the stone things. Let me see. That's the one I've been playing. I hope that's helpful. It should be right around here. This area right here. But it'll be, I mean, obviously this map's not going to, it's not a good map of the castle. So there's a big open courtyard. I think there's a set of doors along there, and I bet it's inside one of those places. But it's Iron Wet Blade is the one that you're looking for. Stone Sword Key Walls. Alright, fair enough. Seems like a perfectly reasonable thing to call them. Alright. What was I working on? What did I mark there for? Oh, that was for the tower, which I've been to. Yeah, I actually need now to Oh, that's right. I need to go here. To this jackwagon. Which means gotta go through all of this. Ah. No. I want this shack. Don't want that shack. Hold on, I'm thinking. Oh, it's in the other one? Okay. So someone on... you're welcome, R3D. So someone on TikTok is saying that it's actually in a different room. I don't know if you can see their messages on my feed. But according to them, it's... So there's the room that you need a stored stone key to get into, and then there's a room right next to it. And I just realized that... There we go. A little better lighting. Yeah, I need to go... Yeah, Fort Hate. Oh, I have to go back around there. Okay, yeah, there's a... I need, parts of the lift. I don't need selling. And anyone who's sufficiently low level, I would recommend these two guys as your what you farm for runes. If you really need them, they're about 1,000 runes a pop, which at low levels is pretty meaningful. They're pretty easy to kill, and it's valuable to learn how to do it. Eventually, you need to get used to the idea of having creatures that do big, giant, high-damage moves, and you need to be between their legs to avoid them, and you want to kind of get used to that. Yeah, there's a few quest lines that... oh. I think it's just Adam Patulski. I'm not hiding myself. Everyone figures out who I am anyway. I'm a cheer dad. They all know who I am.
Hello? Is anybody there? Someone who might be interested in rescuing the great Kennethite, servant to the true order and celebrated repudiator of the false. Oh, well, then, no. Despite of might have young tarnish, I want you tonight. My fool. Oh, threaten us, celebrate. I'm at to pray. Honestly, God first, then he in and to think. Yeah. My fool. My fool.
All right. Bears. Why does it always have to be bears? Oh, you still need the stone sword key. Gotcha. Okay. I don't think I ever picked that up. Just to stay away from that stupid bear. Oh! Wait. Where's Count Snapula? I assume everybody knows about this.
Who goes there? Carly sent you. The name's Blood. He fled, so come tell me. I can offer you. and in need of a
Yeah, rune bears are wicked. They're exceptionally difficult. Let's stop by this guy.
Welcome, dear customer. Yes, well, are you please? I'm
hungry. If you actually listen to that guy that I talked to, Hate, whatever his name is, if you actually talk to him, he tells you that he works with those. But what's interesting is when you get him his castle back, it's filled with those guys who all want to kill you, and then you go to the top and he's like nonchalant about it. It's very funny, I think. Hey. Surprise to you. Shield doesn't mean much to me. That's the Cypher Pettas. Surprise! Okay, holy damage. Unblockable blade. Ah, come on. And that healing. Oi! By the way, I'm farting around. Just FYI. Sorry, I saw a question, R3D. So, I phase 2 one-shot Millennia with Comet of Azure. And I have close to one-shot bosses with a lightning build. The Comet of Azure has some pretty stringent requirements for it to be able to one-shot a boss. One of the main ones being that you can maintain the casting of it long enough while they don't move effectively. So the reason why it's a phase 2 one-shot is because when she drops into the flower form, that whole time you can target her and attack her. It's just a really bad idea because of the rot buildup, right? And the massive damage that spell does. If you can get to where you need to be, like the right everything, you can use a flask and to have no spell cost, buff your magic damage, and then all the other stuff just to increase magic damage, and you can basically Comet of Azure her in flower form and until she dies. So I've managed that that's the closest thing to that kind of a one-shot. I've overpowered bosses and done one-shots, but they were bosses that I had skipped at a higher level. Awesome. I'm talking about one-shotting Millennia. This guy just, like, utterly annihilates me. With a bleed, no less. Yeah, NG+. Ah! Oh! Ah, come on. Try to get a spell off that's more interesting than just meleeing someone. Ah. NG plus, I think, because I was so grossly over-leveled when I beat Elden Ring, this being a first... this first one is significantly easy. I just passed totally through that guy without damaging him? What's up with that? Look at that! What the hell? For that, you get that. Oh, that guy scared me. Yeah, it's... the DLC is punishing, to say the least. I probably had a harder time with Consort than I would have, but it's the same game. It's just the same fights but harder. Screw your ballista too. Interesting. Oh, okay. I still have... hold on. This guy. Instead of farting around, this guy can fight me. You're not there early. The DLC is intended to be beaten anytime you can get to Moog, which I'm pretty sure you do before Fire Giant. I think Fire Giant's an easier fight than most of the bosses in the DLC anyway. That's been my experience anyway. Did you know that in most of these... Oh, if you don't have a lantern, get a lantern. In most of these, you can actually... there's a jump process. Boop. To get down. So if you ever run away from a boss going upstairs, you can go down quickly by doing that. Anyway. Back to Hate, or whatever his name is. Mesmer, Mesmer is my kryptonite. He's the one that I would say gave me the most difficulty. That fight was just exceptionally frustrating. Enjoy that area while it lasts. I buy that. I don't hate him. There are bosses I hate, that's not one of them. I think the designers did a pretty good job of avoiding... while I'm here, let's grab this. Did that just open for me? I've never seen that before. Elden Ring designers did a good job of avoiding making a, like, intentionally painful grind. If you don't have the dexterity or whatever you want to call it for doing stuff, it may be that you need to grind out more levels. But here's the thing, I did not grind anything. Except maybe I farmed literally the stuff you use to make crystal darts. I think that's the only thing that I did. All I did was play the game, and by the time I got to the DLC, I was like level 187. I just did everything in the game. If all you do is just everything in the game, that's all that you do, I think you'll find that you're way over level for beating it. You know, what it is that makes the fights hard is not the fact that you're under level, it's that you just have to be slightly more honed at getting your timing right with all the stuff that you do. You know, like I said, go to one of the YouTube channels where someone has recorded himself doing, I think they call it rune level 1, which just means you don't use runes to level, but you do them for everything else. And they beat the game. They play the game all the way through with a club and whatever armor they started with at that, you know, with that tune. And they're fantastic at it. I mean, kudos to them. right? But yeah. Grit, maybe. It's mostly just about being able to... No, not yet. Here. It's mostly just about being able to you know, do the right dodge at the right time. There is nothing in the game other than your first death that is unavoidable. It may be really hard. Yeah. Memorizing and, well, it's not just memorizing the moveset, it's also memorizing the timing and the responses, but yeah. That's probably what you meant.
I've been waiting for you. Did you manage? Oh, well done. I knew now. Go ahead. Right. What's that look? Well, even the... Which is why... Just you. Would you like... I see bright... Enter. And who knows? What say you? Very well. I knew it. We shall hold the ceremony for your knighting there. I see great things ahead of us. We are truly by the Earth Tree blessed. Right. I've much to...
Alright, now I'm done with that guy. Okay. Why did I do that? I wanted the equipment piece, right? So now I have... The problem is I have the wrong halves. So what I need now is the other Dectus Right. Where is Dectus Right? Ugh. Oh. I feel dirty almost doing this one. Alright. Oh, we have so far to go. Bleh. Alright. We got a long way to go. Oh, that's not the direction I wanted to go. That's the direction I wanted to go. Yeah, that's the direction I wanted to go. Yeah, and you'll notice someone didn't go rune farming. Well, you know what? I passed a Site of Grace. And I have Alexander's Shard, so I don't care about his quest line. But if you don't know, by the way...
Not seen names, but let me ask you, are you here? Does your faith despite? Yeah. Takes me any intro, all I know. Now's the time.
You want this. No skill. This may be one of the most important of these in the game. FYI.
Well, until we meet again.
If you're a caster, there is no more important than that. Oh, excuse me. Oh yeah, and best basic shield in the game, right here in this box. Unless you need a specialty thing like the buff from the jellyfish shield, the best stats for the effort is in that box. For future reference.
Hello? Can you hear me? Help me. I'm stuck.
How can I not help Alexander?
Hello?
Such a good chum.
Anyone? Aye, please. My thanks. Just give, and I'll. Don't dally. Give it your all. Oh, that. Well, I am beyond upon this. I'd heard doesn't the to red me. I've heard. To red me. I've heard there's.
All right. Finished out that conversation. Yeah, and if you're a caster and you want to use a shield, you have to have that. But also, if you want to be able to do a block on a lot of shields, if you want to be able to do that while holding a shield, you need that no shield thing. See how? So that's the same action. So the reason I'm using the buckler is because I want to parry. So I don't want the no thing. But if I want to be able to use this to block, but then also have my special attack, right? I have to have that no, the no shield thing. So get the buckler and practice on the guys where you first start the game. They're really easy to parry. Limgrave. What's his name's not here? Interesting. Interessante. Yeah, I've never been good at parrying, but that's the one thing that I wish that I got much better at, and it's probably why I've just never been very good at melee. In the DLC, there is a set of creatures that are impossible unless you parry them, but they're super easy to parry. Now, what I've wondered is, does this guy take damage from healing spells? He does not. All right. Oh, so I didn't actually need to do that. Yes. By the way, Those militiaman ashes in a couple of specific fights are super useful. You'd think not, but it turns out that when your helpers keep respawning, in the duel, which one was it? It was the 2 Horned Knight fight. It's a later game where you have 2 of the big giant, what are they called? The Dragon Knight guys? Or whatever they're called. There were 2 of them. Oh my god. No matter what I picked, I couldn't get past these guys. And then I threw those dudes. They weren't even fully leveled out. I put those dudes in there, and I only ever had to fight one at a time because the other one was constantly dying and then popping back up and hitting him. And then the other guy, and he's like, what? And he turns around and he goes back to do it again. The big armor dudes with the horn helmet, or the like hammer helmet or all that stuff. No. They were the horned warriors guys. No, this was earlier. I'm wearing that charm right now. It's funny. No, earlier. They're in one of the dungeons in. Hold on. I think they're in one of the dungeons up here in Mountaintop. One of these hero graves or something. Anyway, the whole point was it wasn't, they didn't help me kill him, they helped me distract him. So I could kill one at a time, but both of them, they're just like, you're like, because they're constantly breaking your poise, right? So one hits, your poise is breaking, you're still trying to get up to do something, and the other one breaks your poise. And they just kind of keep you stun locked until you're dead. So every other Ash that I summoned, no worries. Every Ash that I summoned would get killed really fast. And so by summoning those guys, they came back. So they were constantly like, I would only touch one of them, right? So I'm not pissing off the other one as much. They then attacked the other one, and they kept him in a loop of that guy being distracted the whole time by the ashes because they kept regenerating. He'd kill one. The other one would be attacking him while that one's coming back, and they kept switching back and forth. They're basically double teaming him through death. And so the other one is the only one that I have to play with. And then once he was dead, I could then focus on the other guy. It was pretty funny. I think I have that one recorded somewhere. I'll have to go look for it. I hate these dogs so much. I love the ragdoll physics in that. Yeah, Crucible Knights, thank you. That's what I'm talking about. Now you'd think that these stupid things would be a decent farm for runes. You'd be wrong. $3,000. You get more for killing one of those stupid Abanurex or whatever on the bird thing. Oh yeah, I always use summons. It's part of the game. No shade to anyone that doesn't. There is so much revenge locked up in this one place. Just feels good to kill those damn dogs. They're like a nemesis. Yeah, and, you know, I would never tell anyone... I would never tell anyone, you know, oh, you didn't really beat the game. You didn't use ashes. So I wouldn't expect someone to tell me, oh, you didn't really beat the game. You used ashes. Just, it's stupid. Play the game, have fun, that's all that matters. Oh, that's fair. Do it, lady. Wait, I'm still in combat? Ah. I agree. I think it's not really any different than any other game. So what if it's, you know, it's, you know, there are some fights and some bosses that I cheese. Not because I have to, but because I've already done them without cheese, and I don't feel the need to go through the pain and suffering to do that again, you know? Can't believe that guy's still shooting at me. Ow. How is he even still shooting at me? How crazy is that? Reach. Nope. See if this reaches. Nope. I know that's gonna reach. Like this fight, I don't feel the need to go jump down in there with that guy. I love watching someone being all, like, careful trying to get up. Uh-oh. Sometimes watching the little, like, ashes and stuff is funny. that's not what I wanted. That's teleporters up there, right? Oh, yeah. Probably the most powerful melee Ash that I have is Dung Eater. But he's not the best tank. The best tanking one that I have is Telu. Oh, I was supposed to... That was supposed to work that way. Rats. Alright, have a good one, Random. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Ooh. Almost made a mistake there. Am I in the wrong place? I thought this is where that stupid thing was. I feel like I've made a mistake. I thought this was the right place. That's the teleporter. What am I getting wrong here? Hold on. Oh, hell, I'm in the wrong place. I need to be... here. Duh. I knew that. Oh, boy. Nah. It's a vendor. Mushroom men.
Welcome, dear customer. Yes, right this way. Right this way. Welcome, valued. Please, I'm hungry.
I'm hungry. Shouldn't be hungry now. And I think I'm going to break for lunch. I'm not sure that I will be back for a bit. I appreciate y'all for coming by and watching. I'm just still chilling, going through new game, or next game, new game. Yeah. Anyway. My next, I don't know, we'll see. I may be at Fire Giant by the end of the day. I'm not sure. I mean, I generally stream when I play unless I'm doing cleanup and banking and all that kind of crap. Anyhow, thank you for joining, and enjoy the likes and follows.